Welcome back. Welcome back. We got a special one tonight, man. Smash them lights when y'all pop in. Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you. I'd rather be with you. Smash them lights when y'all come in. Smash them lights. We got a special one tonight, y'all. Y'all know about this. Y'all don't know about this right here. I just love that smiling face in the early sun. If I can't have you to myself, then life's no fun. I'd rather be with you, boo. Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather be with you. Gotta get my hair. I know I gotta get my hair ready, y'all. Yeah. My braid has been bullshit. I need to make a move. Just smash the lights. What up, sexy Lexi? Benny, shout out to the fleet. Christopher Williams, enjoy my nigga. Got a special one tonight, man. And that's a fact. I wanna be your number one. So get to that. All right, that's enough of Bootsy. No, not Lil Bootsy. That's Bootsy Collins. If y'all niggas don't know who that is. Bootsy Collins, nigga, look it up. That funk shit, you know what I'm talking about? Man, I want to say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're in the world. Hope everybody, you know, is having a cool day or had a cool day, you feel me? You know, it's funny because last year on this day, the live I did was like, I shout out to everybody that came on that live too, because I didn't expect as many people to really come on there and talk, but we was talking about the Christopher Columbus shit. I didn't even know the day was Christopher Columbus Day. Not that I care too much, but last year when I found out, I did a whole live. It's on the channel. It should be still on the channel. But it was like, yeah, like, I don't celebrate this shit, nigga. Fuck. What that nigga, what Christopher Columbus do for me? What the fuck? That nigga ain't, man, please. Please, man. But Brown Girl, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I got a special guest, man. Up and coming photographer. She's actually did, if you follow me on different platforms, even on this one, the picture where I got them, what them Jordans at? Damn, I can't reach them. Them green and black low top ones with the green hat, the green and black theme pictures. She was the one who shot them. Here in Nirvana Visuals is her @ on Instagram. She's in the back right now. You feel me? Hey, appreciate that, Benny. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, but other than that, man, I feel like I mean, she gonna tell you her story. But aside from the photography, we're gonna get into that too. But it's domestic violence awareness month, and I didn't even know that. I think she was the one who hit me to that, because I think she had posted on her. I seen what she posted the other day. I don't be knowing what to say, you know what I mean? Because it's like, Corleone, what's good, my brother? It's like it's like somebody get shot, or somebody like say somebody brother get killed. You can be like, all right, man, it's gonna be okay. Like, no, it's not gonna be okay. Like, so I don't even, or is you all right? Like, I feel like those questions is like not, or those things are not to say to people who've been through like severe trauma, whatever it may be. You feel me? So I just, when I seen that, I was like, you know what? She need to tell her story in her own words. You feel me? Because first of all, I don't condone in domestic violence of any kind, male on female on male, or anybody. I don't want. That's how things lead get they lead to bad things when you start putting your hands on people that especially you live with them, you relationship with them. or dating them or whatever. You feel me? But it's like I seen the effect that it could have. I never went through it myself, but I've seen like I even dated a girl one time. I didn't even know, like when I met her, I didn't know she was just coming off of one of them situations, and that shit kind of affected me. Like we ain't last, but I could see that she was already psyched out, and I ain't know. She didn't tell me till we was like in the middle of like months we were dating. She like, yeah, he used to such and such and da da da. I was like, what? And you know what I mean? He was still on her bumper. It was just a whole mess, yo. But yeah, she told me some crazy shit that dudes doing shit. So I definitely know the effects, and if it can affect somebody who ain't even affected by it in a way, so I can only imagine, you know, how that type of shit can affect the victim or the person that's going through it or having to with or go through it, withstand something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's go. Yes, yeah. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. Smash the likes too, y'all. So I guess without further ado, I'm gonna bring her on in here and we're just gonna have a honest conversation. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like these conversations, you know, I don't mind talking about the music, and I can crack jokes all day. We can talk about bullshit all day, rap and bull pop, and who got the hottest. But this is the shit that we need. You know what I'm saying? And this is for people who going through it. This is for people who need to be informed. You feel me? This is a multifaceted topic that can touch in so many different ways. You feel me? So let me bring her in here. Let me bring Jazz in here. Oh, she got the trapeze. Yo, you couldn't find the trapeze?
Huh? No, I found it.
Oh, push it, do it sideways.
Oh, let me see. Give me a second. Look, I got it upside down. Hold on. I'm
I
like, if I
probably
turn
said
it sideways,
landscape.
if I turn
Cause
it
she,
sideways, I thought. Wait, yeah, I'm still sideways. Oh, I gotta
is
turn
it
my
locked?
phone on it. Give me a second.
Go ahead, take your time. Take your time. Take your
Hold
time.
on, where the thing at to turn my phone? Oh, there it go.
Okay, cool. Cool. How
Oh,
you feeling, man?
hold on. Let me turn it the other way. Yeah, give me a
Look
second.
at this like
There we go.
you Gucci?
Yeah,
Gucci! What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Man, I want to say first and foremost, though, yo, I really appreciate that shoot we had. I'm like, it's like they get better and better. Like, you feel me? I really want to post them all, but I'm like, I'm just gonna keep some of this. You feel me?
Yeah,
But
we're gonna do
yeah,
another
them
one
shits was
anyway.
dope. Them shits was dope, yo. They came out dope, different types of shit. Um, Even inspired me to post my old no, I'm joking. Them AI pictures. Hey, I seen that shit. I said, "Oh, I got to do this little app. I had to pay for that. I told you I had to pay $6 for that shit."
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate the time, the effort, the talent. I'm highly appreciative
Likewise.
of how it came out. Um, so boom. I guess we're gonna start from the beginning. Introduce yourself. Let them know who you is. You know where you from.
I'm Jazz. I'm from the city, from North Side. Um,
What city you from? You gotta tell them. They don't.
oh
Everybody.
yeah, I forgot they don't know we from the same city. I'm from Richmond too, y'all. Y'all gotta forgive me. I don't do live, but I'm fucking with it.
Okay. You from the north though?
Yeah. I mean, I
Okay,
lived
dang.
all over the city, but mainly in North Side. So yeah, that's what I rep.
Right. Um. Coming up, how was it coming up for you? Like, how many siblings do you have? Did you live with your parents? Did you not? What
All
was
right.
your coming up?
So I got one sibling, same mama, same daddy, my older brother. Um, Shit was crazy growing up. Like, ironically, as we talking about, domestic violence or whatever, like I watched my mom go through it with my dad. So that go into the whole story of like how it shook my whole family when I went through it. Um, it was crazy, parents was out here wilding a little bit. I mean, I had a lot of love growing up though, despite the bullshit. So I'm grateful for that. I'm appreciative for that. But
What about your schooling? What about how was school and shit for you?
I was one of those good kids in school. Always made A's and B's. Like I brought home a C for the first time in 8th grade, and I was my
What?
parents
A
like,
C was
yeah,
like an A for me, nigga.
yeah. My parents was like, "What you doing with a C?" And I'm like, "Damn, my bad."
Right.
But yeah, I graduated high school a year early. I skipped my junior year. I had to get up out of there. I wasn't really a fan of school. I did what I had to do, but I wasn't a fan.
Right. At least you stuck it out though, because a lot of people don't stick it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got kicked out. I would have stayed, but them motherfuckers said you can't stay. You feel me? But yeah, you know how that go when you be cutting up. So okay, so school was cool, at home was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What type of like memories you got from like if like seeing your mom and your dad in them fight, or what was it about? Did you overhear like what you didn't like? What did you gather from that? How did you see that happen?
Um, I witnessed it a lot. Like I remember one time I seen like my dad. He probably gonna nah. He not gonna be mad that I'm talking about it because I mean it's my experience. It's what I saw. Excuse my background.
No, you good. You good. You don't
um,
gotta get too deep if you don't want to,
nah, I will. It was just my door closing. That's all.
but
I remember one time I had to be like 4 or 5 years old. And I woke up to like my mom, my dad had pushed her like down beside me. He had a knife to her throat. Like that was job
damn.
traumatizing as fuck. Um, I remember this other time he threw a whole bike at her, and I was like, "Yeah, that's insane." And we was actually staying in this hotel at the time, so when he threw the bike, it hit the window. Like she ducked and it hit the window, and the window never got fixed. And I remember standing on the bed, and I went to lean on that window and almost fell out of the window. Luckily, the curtain saved my life. But yeah, I was almost a goner because he threw the bike at the window. I will say though, like once they finally left each other, like my dad wasn't really one to move like that. Like they, when drugs and stuff is involved, people not in their right mind. And it was similar with my situation.
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, I think because I saw it growing up, when I went through it, it kind of made me stick it out a little longer than I should have. So like my family didn't even know I was going through it for like a year and a half. And when they
How
found
did
out,
hold on, a year and a half? What was you wearing turtlenecks and not was you not coming around, or how did they not know?
um he put on a good front in front of
Um,
people. Like he treated me like a princess in front of people. Um and like that's why in the video I posted, one of the things he used to say to me was like, at least I don't hit you in your face. You can cover your bruises up. And I would. Um and like I was actually kind of shocked that people didn't see it sooner because I don't know. I guess I probably put on a good front too. I'm gonna just put it like that. Like his mom knew. His mom did know, and it got to a point where she was like, "If you're not gonna press charges on my son, don't tell me about it no more." So I was like, "Okay," and I stopped
damn.
telling her. Um, but yeah, like when my family did find out, it was actually because I tried to kill myself. Like I sent this long text message, and the text message wasn't supposed to go out until I was, drifting away. But
Right.
when he texted me, because I sent him pictures of what I was doing, like I kept cutting my arm was leaking blood, and every time I cut it again, I would send him a picture because he was like, you're not gonna kill yourself. Why you lying? You're not tired of lying yet. So I sent him the pictures like I'm not playing. And it was a situation where like this was one of those nights where I knew that I was gonna get home and he was gonna put his hands on me, and I was just tired of it at that point. So I was like, shit, I'd rather be dead than have somebody keep putting their hands on me. So when he texted me, because of the background of the pictures I was sending, he knew exactly where I was at. So I took off running at that point. I was down by the river. I stay by the river. So I was like,
Mhm.
shoot, that's where I'm gonna take my life at. Um, so he texted me and he was like, I know where you at. So took off running to get away from right there. And I accidentally sent the text message to my family. So at that point, everybody was blowing my phone up. And I remember, like, at that point, I was just laying on the ground, like, crying. And I remember hearing my brother's voice. I heard my brother and my dad's voice. And that's when, everybody found out what was going on. And it kind of fucked with my dad because my dad was like, damn, had I never done that to your mom, you would have never stayed with a man who was doing that to you. My mom was like, damn, had I never stayed with your dad, you would have never stayed with a man that did that to you. So
Right,
it
right.
was
So
crazy.
is it safe to say, or let me not safe to say, but at that point, was that like the climax of it, or was that the very beginning?
Um, I think mentally for me, it was the climax because I still chose to not press charges yet. And like obviously I was in the hospital for like a week after attempting to take my own life.
Right.
Um but I still let him come back. And like domestic violence can be complicated because like they will brainwash you into believing that you deserve it. Into believing that you did something
I do
wrong.
hear that often. I hear that often.
Yeah, like they will have us feeling like we deserve it. And it gets to a point you just get used to it. But I would say because this was in July of 2018
Okay.
that happened. No, 2019. July of 2019 is when that happened. Um, and we stayed together, and it was one of those situations where like I wanted to leave. Like I was begging him, like either leave me alone or love me right. He didn't want to do either one. Like if I tried to put him out, that was another ass whooping. And he was a strong, little aggressive man. Like he, and then I had it in my head, like damn, like he went through a lot. He was mentally fucked up because of the life he kind of chose to live. So it was like I was having sympathy for him and his mental health, and he really wasn't giving a fuck about mine. But I let him come back, or he never went anywhere. I should say. I came home from the hospital to him. We was living together. We had a child together. Um, and ironically, the abuse started 8 months into the relationship, 3 days after I found out I was pregnant with our daughter.
Damn. What
And,
happened?
huh?
What happened when that, like, if you said when you, because you remember the exact time it
All right,
started.
this part of the story is so fucking crazy because I was mad. Like, I was at work the night before. I was doing hair. I had my own studio. I had my own studio. Um, and I was working late. I was working until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He was gonna stay up there with me the whole time, but he decided to leave because he was like, "Oh, Izzy, which isn't his daughter, that's my daughter." But he was, he stepped up because me and her dad wasn't talking. He was like, "Oh, she needs some milk," so I'm like, "Okay, cool." But he goes to take the milk, and then he was like, "I'm gonna go do the laundry," so I'm like, "All right, fine." But then you call me and you like, "Oh, my homeboy need me. I don't know what's going on, blah blah blah." So I come to find out, and like I was mad, I was snapping on him, and I'm like, "You told me you was going to do this, but here you is outside with your homeboys running the streets, doing whatever." Like, come to find out, they was looking for this guy who had put his hands on the homeboy's cousin. And the sad
What?
thing is, that girl actually, she ended up getting killed by her dude. It was on the news. She got killed by not that same guy that was abusing her, but she got killed by another guy. I want to say earlier this year or maybe
That's
last summer. She
crazy.
ended up getting killed because she didn't get out of a domestic violence situation. But
Them
so,
hard beats.
I go home, and at this point I'm like, look, I'm done with you. Like, please just get out, whatever, whatever. Like, I was tired of it. And the abuse hadn't started yet, but I was tired of his ways, period. So he didn't want to leave. So at this point, the sun is coming up. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm ready to walk to the store. I'm walking to the store. I get like a block away from, I was living with my mom. I got a block away from my mom's house. And all I heard was footsteps coming up behind me fast as hell. And I just remember getting grabbed by my throat, thrown on the ground. And like, next thing you know, I'm in the middle of the street and he is like beating the shit out of me like I'm a nigga. And
Damn.
just, yeah, like just talking a lot of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I get
Is
up.
it broad daylight?
The sun was coming up, so it
Oh,
wasn't
it's just
too
coming
bright
up.
yet. But by the time it was over with, I remember it was bright outside because like he kept throwing me back on the ground, and I got up and I'm like, "Are you done yet?" And the look on his face was like he snapped back to reality, and like I walked away with this very silent cry, like I just had tears rolling down my face. And the ironic thing about it, and like this is a red flag to me now, but if a man out of nowhere tells me I would never put my hands on you, they make me feel like they would because that was something he told me. It wasn't never a concern like, oh, you might put your hands on me. But out the blue one day, he was like, yeah, I would never put my hands on you. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know.
Right.
The whole time he did. And then he told me a while prior, he was like, if I ever put my hands on you, take my gun and kill me. So we walked back to my mom's house. I ignored him the whole time. And I was like, where's your gun at? He was like, it's in the house. Why? I was like, go get it. Like, you told me if you ever put your hands on me for me to kill you. Like, and he was like, you really want me to go get it? And I was like, no, I just want you to get out. And then, his mom found out the same day. She begged me not to get an abortion. And I was like, that's if, I
Oh,
don't
you
even
was
have a
pregnant
menstrual.
too?
Yeah, this was 3 days after I found out I was
Oh,
pregnant.
you did say that. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
this was the very first time he put his hands on me. So after
Damn.
that, it was like kind of a sporadic thing. Like, it wasn't happening consistently. But after that situation, when I tried to kill myself, he felt bad. And I think I probably went like a good month or so before he was putting his hands on me again. Like, he told me I scared him and this and that. Like, but the abuse continued, and it was like it got worse and worse to the point that it was practically every day. And it wasn't even just physical abuse, it was verbal abuse, like just calling me out of my name any chance he gets, like a lot of projecting energy from him, because a lot of the things he was saying, I believe he felt that about himself.
Right.
um but yeah, it got to a point in September of 2019. July was when I tried to commit suicide. By September of 2017, it was getting to the point where he was putting his hands on me in front of people. And like I
Mm.
said, you putting a gun to my head, you telling me you're gonna kill me, like you're choking me until my body goes limp, like, and like he would always stop just as I'm going limp. And like constantly telling me like I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, like, and then would turn around and apologize and be like, so you gonna call the police on me? And I'd be like, no. And then he would legit whoop my ass, ask me if I'm gonna call the police, tell me he loved me, kiss me, hug me, and leave out the house. Or ask me to ride with him. And I just was doing whatever at that point. Um, but in September, that's when I remember his brother was living with us. His brother and the brother's baby mama, they was staying with us. And when it got to a point where he was doing it in front of them, like he was in the living room yelling at me one day, and he was like right in my face, headbutt me in my mouth, like to the point my shit was split, and did it in front of his brother. So it started getting a little more scary at that point, because it's like, oh, he don't even care to hide it no more. Like
Right.
he
Right.
knew that certain people knew what was going on, but he really didn't even care to hide it anymore at that point. Like he would snap on me in front of his friends, like threaten me in front of his friends. It was crazy. But that time when he headbutted me in my mouth and stuff, those bruises that I posted, that was the only time I ever actually took pictures of my bruises, and that was one of the last times he had put his hands on me. But those bruises that was on my arms, I didn't really care to cover them up, and on top of that, I didn't realize that my mouth was bruised up right here. So I remember seeing my daughter's godmom. She came to pick her up, and she seen it. She was the one that pointed it out, and she was like, "He's still putting his hands on you," because at that point everybody knew, but I still wasn't telling people that it was still going on. I was
Right.
still
Right.
hiding it. Um, so she was like, "He's still putting his hands on you." I'm like, "Yeah." And then that same day, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's gonna be 11 on Saturday. She seen the bruises on my arms, and she was like, "Mommy, what happened to your arm?" And at the time, she had to have been like 7 years old. And I was like, "Oh, I fell down the steps." And that shit broke my heart, because I'm like, damn, I just lied to my child to cover up, what this nigga really doing to me. So that was my breaking point. That was when I was like, nah, I gotta press charges on him.
Yeah,
Like
you
those
knew you
bruises.
knew it wasn't right at that time. You was like, this shit ain't right.
Yeah. Yeah. When I had to lie to my child about it, I was like, yeah, this I can't do it no more. Um, so ironically, the brothers, she was his girlfriend at the time. The brother's girlfriend at the time, like she kind of helped me press charges. I
Mm-hmm.
stayed at work a little late the next day, and I told her, I said, "Look, I'm gonna go to the hospital when I get off work." And my chest was hurting real bad.
Hold on. Before you go there, how was that? All right, so because it just hit me like, yo, because you was in love with this person, you had a child with this person, so that I'm pretty sure that wasn't like like you said, nigga had you psyched out, brainwashed. Like, how was it like making that decision? How long did it take you? Did you have to like sit down for a whole day and think about if you was really going? Because that's put. Even though he deserved it, I'm just saying putting charges on somebody that's a serious thing. You
And
know what
he
I'm
knew
saying?
I didn't want to do that. He knew I
Right.
really didn't want to do that. And I told him, like, after I did press charges on him, I was like, nigga, that shit broke my heart to even have to do that because you already spent 8 years of your life in prison from the time we was 16 until we was like 24. He knew I didn't want to send him back to prison.
Right.
So
Right.
like
Right.
that it really was heartbreaking. But I wouldn't say that I had to contemplate. It was like once my mind was made up, that was it. But I still had to go to work. I still had to go make my
And you
money.
said the
So
homegirl helped you. She helped you do it.
yeah, so like I knew that when I got off work that night that I was gonna go to the hospital. And I did. And I even had another friend who went to the hospital with me. But um because my homegirl was at my house, like she was here with her boyfriend, which was his brother. So I'm texting her like, yeah, bitch, it's ready to go down. Like, so I go to the hospital, they
He's
take
gonna
pictures of
probably
her.
be mad type shit. Like it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be hell. Like
Yeah. And I just
yeah.
got to a point where I didn't care because I was like, this is starting to impact my kids. Like, even though my kids never seen him, they've heard it. They've heard him, they've heard us fighting.
Right. It still affect
Um,
them. Yeah. It still affect them.
yeah. So I was like, it's ready to be a done deal. So while I was at the hospital, I was texting her like, let me know if he leaves. And if he does leave, see if you can find out how long he's going to be gone. See if you can find out where he's going. But he never left. So I will never forget the officer because every time she sees me, like, she's like, I remember you. You Tahar's girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, that was me. But she hated domestic violence so bad because they asked me when I went to the hospital, like, you seen the bruises. They was like, what did he hit you with? I'm like, he punched me. They was like, oh, he's gonna kill you. Like when they seen the severity of the bruises from his fist, they was like, this is the type of man that will kill you.
Yeah, that's hard. Like, I mean, I don't think I think any level, but just me visually looking at that shit, it's like, and you got lighter skin, so you can really see the blood clot. You can see the shit, like the
Yeah, and I
bruise.
think
Like,
I think when I took those pictures, it had probably been like a good week maybe since it happened.
that's fucked
Because
up.
that day I took those pictures, I was actually at work in the middle of doing somebody's hair when I took those pictures, and I took them just to have my own proof because I didn't know that they were going to take more pictures at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one that I had on my chest, like my chest was like extremely sore. Like I thought he broke something in my chest other than my heart. I thought he
Right,
broke
right,
something
right.
in my chest, so they had to do chest X-rays and everything. But the cop, she was like, "Where is he at right now?" I was like, "He's at my house," and she was like, "Oh, he really about to make it that easy for me?" She was like, "I can go there right now and lock him up." I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." Like I was like,
Right.
I got somebody texting me in case he leave, but she got to my house so quick, and he already knew what time it was because he looked through the peephole. He looked at the brother and the girlfriend and was like, "Jasmine pressed charges on me." But it's like, nigga, you should have known that was coming. Like, how much do you think I could take? And it got to a point where I'm like, yeah, this nigga is gonna kill me if I don't leave. And then his mom kept saying it. His mom was like, my son is gonna kill you. Like, you need to leave.
That's
And I kept
crazy.
telling her,
When that mom saying that, not to cut you off, mom saying that is that's telling. The
yeah,
mom telling you like that's crazy.
yeah. But she knew it. I can't even say she knew. It was like nobody really understood at that
She
point
know
that it
her
was
son though.
impossible. It was
She probably
impossible.
know he flash out. He probably didn't flash out around her before. You know what I
He
mean?
have to her.
Yeah. She know her son.
Like when you threatening to take your own mama life, you crazy.
Yes. You ain't rap too tight.
Yeah.
So wait. So
So
they took him to the thing, or he ran out the back door, or what happened?
no, he let them lock him up. And the cop
Okay.
told me she was like he resisted a little bit, but yeah, he went ahead and went in. But I think the thing that really threw me the most was that the mom was urging me to press charges on him. But guess who went and signed him out that same night?
His mama.
The mom and the brother. And I'm like, y'all
Hmm.
just don't give a fuck about my life, huh? And like to this
They
day,
gonna
she
choose
will
him over
say,
you though. You know that.
yeah, to this day, she'll say, like, I didn't bond him out. He paid for it himself. I just signed for him. I'm like, yeah, but without your signature, he would have never got out.
Right.
And guess what he did? Came right back to my house 6 hours later.
And
He was
what he
right back.
say?
He was talking shit, threatening me. And this is the crazy part about it. Like, it went from him talking shit to begging me. Like, babe, please don't send me back to prison. I can't go back to prison. Please don't send me back. And I'm like, well, nigga, I begged you to stop whooping my ass and you wouldn't do it. So, um, and then that's where I turned into, a dummy. I didn't drop the charges because, and this is one thing about the state of Virginia, they do not play about domestic violence anymore. Once you press charges and they have proof, they don't even give a fuck if you come to court or not, because they
They
like,
gonna do it. They gonna press them.
yeah, we picking these charges up. You can
Yeah.
drop them, you could try to drop them all day, but they like, because they're tired of women getting killed for going back.
Right.
So, they pick it up now. So I told him, I stayed away from him. I had a 72-hour protective order. He didn't give a fuck about the protective order, of course. But after the protective order was up, I let him come back. Like a dummy, I let him come back. So everything was good for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. It felt like we was back in the beginning. Like, he was giving me that princess treatment again. And we had a real conversation about it. And he was like, and I told him, I said I would drop the charges if I could, but I can't. And I was like, at the end of the day, I kind of don't want to anyway, because I didn't deserve what you did to me.
Right.
So he was like, do you want me to go to jail? I was like, yeah. And he was like,
Mm.
well, I'll go do my time because you didn't deserve that. At this point, I guess he was kind of clear minded, only for a brief second though, because it only took a week or two for it to happen again. And the last time he put his hands on me, I just knew my life was really in danger that day, because it's like he already contemplating going on the run. So he really don't care if he killed me at this point. I didn't
Going on a
already
run
press the
about that
charge.
case.
Yeah.
So he was on papers at this time.
He was still on papers. Yeah.
Damn, yeah, you was in a dangerous type. I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
you
Like,
living with this
he
person.
still had 40 years over his head.
Jesus
So,
Christ. Yeah,
so
he.
yeah. The last time it happened, um, I remember I had to call the police without letting him know I was calling the police. Like, you know how you can hold the button down on the iPhone? Like,
Mm,
I was willing to take a punch to the face in order to call the police, because I had a hoodie on, so I had my hands in my pocket,
right.
and my phone, was in my pocket, so I'm holding on to them buttons for dear life, not even knowing if it's actually working or not, because I just kept feeling my phone vibrate, and I think he knew what I was doing, because he tried to keep pulling my hands out of my hoodie. But he's so slow, because the police got there. They actually listened to him threaten to kill me for 8 minutes. Like, I went back and looked at the phone call after the fact. They did pick
Yeah.
up, and they could hear everything going on. So they tracked my location, because like within 10 minutes, police was knocking on my door, and he looked, and we was right in front of the door. So not only are they hearing what's going on the phone, they're hearing him threatened me on the other side of the door. So he looks out the door and he was like, oh, somebody called the police. And I just felt relief. But this was the fucked up part about it. The police was assholes about it, because they was like, why you let him come back? Because I told the police when they got there, I'm like, look, he got like 4 warrants right now, which all of them was because of me. I
What the
told him, I was
fuck?
like, yeah, I was like, he just held me hostage inside my house. He's threatening to kill me. He just choked the shit out of me. But for some reason, the police let him leave. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I peeped that it was a scale sitting on the floor behind me.
Would he have
So
some
when
work,
I
some dope
seen
on
it,
him?
I was like, oh, the police ain't about to think this is my shit. This is my apartment. So I turn around. I turn around to sirens loud.
I'm like, is that mine? Because I'm hearing siren. I got the window open so I can let the smoke out. It's all
Nah,
good.
those my sirens this time.
Them your yeah.
So
Good
I
old
turn around
Richmond.
and I'm like, huh?
I said, good old Richmond, homely
Ain't
Richmond.
it? And I got an interesting story about the sirens the day that, you know, everything else went left. I ain't gonna give this part away yet. I think
All
I
right.
talked to you about it already, what happened after the fact, like 10 days after I put them out, but I ain't gonna give that part away yet.
Okay, okay.
So
So yeah, go ahead.
so I turn around and I go to pick the scale up off the floor. I tell the police, like, hold on 1 second. I go pick the scale up off the floor and go throw it in the trash. Because I'm not about to have no charge for it being a scale on my floor.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to the front door. Baby daddy was gone and the police was gone. But I
What?
think the police left because they realized he left. And they was like, oh, shit. Like, we done let this nigga get away and she just told us he got warrants.
Right.
Needless to say, I filed a complaint against them. Baby daddy ended up getting more warrants and charges. Like they gave him kidnapping and abduction at that point for holding me against my will.
Yeah, because yeah, that's abduction, yup. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they gave him like strangulation, violation. He had already gotten violation of a protective order.
You know, abduction is like a minimum of 9 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, minimum type shit though. Minimum type shit. So yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he kept saying that he was gonna go to court. He like even after all of that, and this is the crazy part about it. After I pressed charges on him, because I didn't have a car at the time, we had a car. The car was in his name. He went and put the car in my name because he was like, since I'm about to go to jail, let's go ahead and put the car in your name now so we don't have no issues. Like, do you see how much craziness was going on? It's like, nigga, you love me, but you crazy as hell. You love me and you hate me at the same time. Make it
Hold on,
make
what you
sense.
mean? So you mean like you think that he was trying to tie himself to you or something, or
Nah, he just knew I had the kids, and like he was so crazy that like, yeah, he was beating the shit out of me, but he was like, yeah, I just want to put the car in your name because you gonna need the car when I go to jail. Like
okay,
how
yeah,
you how
I
you
guess.
still whooping my ass and you care at the same time? Like that's confusing. That's the type of shit that will have us brainwashed.
Right,
It's
right,
very
right.
confusing. So I started ignoring him after that. Like it was like we communicated like every day to some extent, but it was a lot of him begging and telling me he loved me. And I'm like, nigga, it's out of my hands at this point. It's nothing more I can do. Um he kept coming to my house, and mind you, he would not give me my house key back. So I had to stay
Damn.
at home. I had to stay at home because I'm like, if I leave, I'm liable to come home at any point and this nigga is sitting in my shit waiting on me.
Right.
So I said, fuck it. And I stayed at home. I still have my clients pulling up. I'm like, look, y'all got to come to the house to get y'all hair done because I'm not leaving my house, but I could lock my screens, if I'm in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So, I refuse either that or if I did go out somewhere, somebody had to stay in my house. And matter of fact, the one time, like 8 days later, the one time I went outside, this
Mm-hmm.
nigga came in the house and I knew he did because he came in here and tore shit up.
Oh, he flipped the apartment?
It wasn't too bad, but I could tell he had been in here.
Well, he was on some like angry shit, or he was looking for some shit.
I think he was looking for something because we had this coffee, a empty coffee container that we used to stash money in. And I peeked that
Okay.
he had threw that across the room. He didn't have to break my lamp too, but he broke my lamp. I'm like, this asshole. But like he pretty much left signs that he had been here. And it was to the point that I would not come in my house. Cause I think he left the door unlocked. Or it was something about the door that let me know before I even came in that he had been inside.
And you had to sleep there and shit too. That was like your home. Like that's like a prison. You a prisoner in your own home. Yo, like
Yeah. And
I
even with
couldn't even
even
sleep in some shit. Like if I like I can't even be around nobody that's like if I can't sleep around you, I can't even be around you like that. Like if I don't feel you feel me, like I won't even be there. Like you see what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
I don't know how to sleep with one eye open. I know people know how to do it, but I don't know how to do it.
See,
So
I could lock my screens. That was the only safety I felt, was knowing I could lock my screens and knowing
right,
that granted, I was like, this nigga liable to shoot through a window, but I knew he wasn't that stupid because he wasn't gonna put the kids in
right,
that type of harm.
right,
He won't go do that. But I just was like, yeah, no. And then, like I said, his brother was here. His brother stayed here, even at with everything going on. He stayed here,
right,
and then he was mad about that. Like he mad that I still let his brother and his girlfriend stay with me. But it's like, nigga, they didn't do nothing to me. And
right,
I
right.
remember the girlfriend. It was her first day at a new job, and she was so terrified to leave me by myself that she didn't even go to work on time. Like because that morning, I want to say this was the same day he had butt me in my mouth, and that because she was right there when it happened too. And that morning, like I went to open the back door to let the kids go to the bus stop. Guess who's standing on my back porch? This nigga, because he knew what time the kids go to school, so he knew that was one time I was gonna unlock the
So
screen.
where was he staying? Was he staying at the homies? You don't know where he was at. He was outside, or what he was doing?
He was staying with one of his friends.
Okay, that was in the same area.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
And
how he
then
was
he hung
always
out in
right
this
there.
area too. Like this was his neck of the woods. So,
Right, type shit.
you know,
Okay.
I used to see him driving past sometimes, and I'm like, all right, he ain't coming to bother me. But I remember it was one day that he came by here 4 times. Like sometimes I would just see him sitting outside, and he'll be blowing my phone up. At this point, he was trying to get his stuff back, and I'm like, no, nigga, you should have took whatever you needed
Right,
when you.
right.
Because matter of fact, that's how I ended up. That's how he ended up putting his hands on me the last time, because I let him in to come get his stuff. And he came down the steps, and I already knew what time it was. I tried to run out the back door, but he got there so quick that he locked me in the house. Like he grabbed the door, pulled it. No, he pushed the door closed and locked it. I tried to run to the front door. He got there before me. He locked that door. And I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, he about to kill me. Like this is
Yeah,
it.
like that's what it shit sound crazy, yo.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm about to lose my life right now.
I can imagine, especially as a female like me. I'm a man, so I'm trying to. But y'all a little smaller. You don't need. That's it. Just that's. I feel sorry for you on that shit. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's like a movie. It's like what the fuck, like Michael Myers or something coming. Like you feel me? Like
Right.
damn.
That's how I felt too. Like I just never knew what day was gonna be my last day. Like, cause I can't even tell you how many times he put a gun to my head, and you got one in the head, you got a loaded clip, like
All it takes is one fuck up.
yeah,
Literally, it could be an accident. Like
yeah, literally.
damn. So where he locked the door and what happened? Then he just got on you right then.
That was the day that the police let him leave. That was the day I had to call the police by holding the buttons on the sides of my phone.
Right.
Um, so after that, you know, he kind of he kind of stayed away, but I remember him coming back one time. He came back 4 times in one day. And I called the police every time. I'm like, yeah, he's here. They take 30 minutes to get here. I'm like, all right, he's here again. They
Right.
take 30 minutes. I was like, like I was cussing the police out. I was like, yo, every fucking time I call y'all take 30 minutes and he gone by the time y'all get here. They gonna
Right.
tell me, oh, when you call next time, tell him that he got a gun and he threatening your life. Y'all know that already. Why the fuck I gotta tell y'all that?
Right.
Like, make it make sense. And
It's
then
documented.
this what else the police said to me that day when I told them, like, you know, he already got warrants for this and that. I pressed charges on him already. He violated the protective order. They was like, well, why you let him come back? I said, why the fuck do any of us let him come back? Like, I'm like,
Right.
y'all worried about the wrong shit
It's
right
a it's
now.
a you know what it is? It's a simple question to somebody who's not going through it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's anything. That's not just domestic violence. If somebody, it's easy because you ain't going through this shit. You know what I mean? Whatever it could be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and they just police anyway. They don't give a fuck. No, yeah, you black. You don't give a fuck. You feel
Yeah.
me? They don't care no
Especially
way.
when you in the hood too. Like, they get close.
Yeah, they don't care at all. So how
So,
was so what? Yeah, what happened there?
all right. So, that was the last day I actually saw him. And ironically, the last text message I sent him was probably like October 19th of 2019. And I said, you know, I still love you. I forgive you for everything you did to me, but I'm done with you. I was like, you know, I'm not gonna try to keep your child away from you, but you really need to go get help because something is really wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, he told me he loved me too, he forgive me too. I don't know what the fuck he was forgiving me
I'm
for,
about to
but
say what the fuck, nigga.
yeah, I don't know
But
what I was
yeah,
being. I don't know
look,
what I
I
was being
said
forgiven
forgive, nigga.
for.
What? You're the
Right.
problem, nigga. Fuck you, man.
Yeah. So, you know, very narcissistic. So that
Yeah.
was the last time we had talked. And then 3 days later on October 21st, I'm sitting in my bedroom with the brother's girlfriend and we looking out the window, waiting on this nigga to pull up.
Right.
So there was an ambulance sitting across the street. I hear the ambulance sirens go off. The ambulance pulls off. About 10 seconds later, my phone is ringing. I answered the phone and this girl was like, your baby daddy just got shot. So I'm like, damn, what you calling me for? Like, she was like, "What you mean? That's your baby daddy?" Blah blah blah. I said, "Girl, that nigga ain't get shot."
Right.
So she like, "Nah, he did." I'm like, "Well, where was he at? Who was he?" Well, I already knew who he was with because she was the one calling me, so I knew who he was with. So me and the brother girlfriend, we just look at each other and we like, that nigga playing games right now. Like, he really trying to see me. He really trying to get to me. So the girl calls me back again and she like, "Nah, he really did get shot." I'm like, "Well, it's like what's going on? I need more details." So she had called me back a couple more times and I was like, "I bet you if he got killed on 22nd Street." And I was right. And it was like 4 or 5 blocks away. So that's why I seen the ambulance that left to go get him. I didn't realize that right at that moment, but I was like, "Damn, that's why that ambulance left
Yeah.
right before I
Yeah. I
got
see
that
what you're
phone
saying.
call."
Yeah. You put it together a little late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was to the point, at this point, it's like, all right, we're gonna call this nigga. Like, I went downstairs probably like 5 minutes later. His brother was laying on the couch. And I was like, "Yeah, niggas calling my phone, telling me your brother got shot." He sucked his teeth, got up off the couch, and was like, "Let me go see what's going on." We didn't want to say nothing to the mama initially because
Right.
we didn't want her to have a damn heart attack. So we waited about 45 minutes before we said something to the mom. Um, I'm calling all his friends. I'm calling their girlfriend. When I was calling the girlfriends, the wives and the girlfriends of his friends, I'm like, "When the last time you seen Tahad?" People saying he got shot. And when I tell you every single person said the same thing, "We seen him yesterday. He was supposed to be coming by today." Everybody started calling his phone and he wasn't the type of person to not answer his phone. So even with him not answering the phone, we still not believing it. Everybody was like, "Jazz, I think he just playing a prank on you. I think he just want to see you because he's so obsessed with you. He in love with you." Like, and he was obsessed and in love, but so hateful at the same time. But whole time he was really laying there bleeding out. So he ended up dying that same day. And that was the end of it. And I remember my dad was like the third person I called. Cause I went to the hospital. Me, his mom, his brother, a couple of his friends was there. Um, and I remember I called my dad, and I was like, "Tahar just died." And my dad was like, "I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm just glad you finally got some peace in your life." And I was like,
And to be clear, just so people know, because I know you told this is what you told me, but it was self inflicted.
"No, that was actually my husband."
Oh my God! So what happened to him? How did it was just some street shit?
Yeah, he jumped into a fight that ain't have nothing to do with him, and like beat the shit out the dude. The dude got up and shot him.
Classic shit. The classic
Yeah.
story.
And like he lived such a crazy street life that when he got killed, I remember we was leaving the hospital and his mom was like, "Well, at least we ain't got to worry about this happening no more because it happened. It already happened."
Dang.
Because me and his mom used to have conversations like, the way he's moving, he's gonna end up dead one day. He knew he was gonna end up dead. Like 6 months before he died, he was like, "You remember what song I want you to play at my funeral?" And he kept saying like, "All the fucked up shit I did, somebody gonna end my name one day." So it was like he job prepared me for him to die. I mean, for him to die for me. Oh my god, he prepared me for him to die. Um, but yeah, better him than me. And like it was fucked up like that. It fucked my head
Yeah,
up real bad because it was
that
like,
is
damn,
crazy.
10 days after I decide to be done with you, you're dead. And I used to tell him all the time, like, the minute I leave you alone, that's when you're going to end up dead. When you don't have my energy protecting and loving you no more, despite what you're doing to me, that's when you're going to end up dead. And it happened. And, like, it's one of those situations because I heard you talking at the beginning about the girl you was dealing with and the dude wouldn't leave her alone.
Yeah.
That
hmm
would have been my baby daddy. Like, had he
Yeah.
not died, I would have never been able to have peace in my life
Oh,
ever
this guy
again.
was a major problem, and he's her baby daddy now. After me and her fell out, and then he can't even give her $60 now, type shit. Ain't that something? I said, well, shit, I better him than me, because
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't lock in. But yeah, that shit was affecting me. They was so already had some shit. but I was so young, I didn't know that you got to see what people got going on. But
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy. That is intense, man. And you said that was what, 2019?
Yeah. So
Okay.
October 21st, it'll be 4 years
Yeah,
since he
about 4
died.
years.
And then it was wild because when I'm at the hospital, here go the detective pulling me to the side. And she was like, I know you got something to do with this because I seen what y'all had going on. I said, lady, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I said, yeah, he was crazy, but I wasn't trying to kill the nigga. Like,
Right,
he was
right,
trying to
right.
kill me.
Oh, she thinking that you put somebody on
Yeah,
them.
yeah, because it was
Mm,
very, it was a very big coincidence that right after I got fed up, he was dead. But,
mm,
God don't play about me. That's all I can say.
right,
God does not play about me. Then I remember even throughout my pregnancy, like, the abuse was crazy then. Like he was happy to be having his first child, but at the same time, when he was in those moods where he wanted to put hands on me, it was like, go get an abortion. I'm like, nigga, I'm 7 months pregnant. It's too late for that.
right, right.
And he would like drag me out the bed, tell me he was gonna beat the baby out of me. Like,
What the fuck?
that's some scary shit.
Yeah, I never heard nothing like that. That's fucking
Yeah, it
insane
was.
for a nigga to even say that type of shit.
Yeah, that was probably one of the things that scared me the most. Like, nigga, you kill my child, I'm liable to kill you for real.
Yeah, it's gonna everybody gonna be over with. It's gonna be, you know what I mean? It's gonna be over with for everybody because you can't let that like what?
Yeah.
And you said y'all met when y'all was when you was 16?
I think we was like 15 when we met. And like that's where our friendship started. Then
Yeah.
when I found out he was locked up, I started writing him when we was like 17. So 7.5 years of his sentence. I wrote him letters,
You
we
hold them
emailed
down.
each other, we talked on the phone like we was best friends. So
Right.
it threw me so much like to go through the shit that I went through with him because I'm like, nigga, this was never supposed to be us.
Right,
But
right.
he was one of them ones that he didn't go to prison at 21. They sent his ass at 17. Cause they like, nigga,
Mm,
you wildin'. Like he was in Sussex, he was in Red Onion, like, and when it was all said and done, they had him in Wallens Ridge. And
mm-hmm.
that's
You
level
know I
one.
know everything. I know it all. You know I
Yeah,
do.
that's 20. You in that bitch
Notorious.
23 hours a day.
Everything you
Like,
just said is notorious. Every facility is notorious that you just said.
yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
So that was me. That's where all my sympathy for his mental health came from. Cause I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, like you was locked in a cage all these years, and I was his punching bag, and not to say I was okay with it, but it was like I just had more sympathy and empathy for him than he had for me.
Were you the only like serious girlfriend he ever had or something?
I mean, basically, because he had got locked
Damn,
up at
yeah.
such a young age, and like
That's why I
people
just did the
used to
math. I
try to
said,
just
hold on.
yeah,
Yeah.
they used to try to
Damn.
justify that, like he would even say it himself. He would tell me like I gotta stop treating you like you a nigga on the streets. And I'm like, yeah, you think. And that's the fucked up part. Like he was so aware of what he was doing and he was so aware that he needed to stop that it was almost like he just like he couldn't control himself anymore. And it just got worse and worse.
And
Like,
then I heard you mention too, you was like, because you made a reference to in the very beginning of our conversation, you was like, you was talking about you mentioned drugs. We was referring it to another situation. But what was that? Was there any crazy drugs? Was that a part of it or no?
yeah,
What type of shit? Was it
he was
Xanax
taking
or
things, he was taking ditties, he was taking ecstasy, and then
it
I
sound like
found out after he died that he was sniffing coke too. And I remember
that
when
sound like some
somebody first
Xanax.
came to me and told me that, I'm like, that nigga won't sniffing coke. Then I
Right.
found the paper from his PO stuffed in the back of the glove box where he had to go to a drug program. And then I actually had a flashback to we was in the car one day and his PO called him. He put it on speakerphone and his PO was like, yeah, you failed your drug test. Like, what's up? And he was like, oh, I went out with some friends and I slipped up. And I'm looking at him like, nigga, fuck you, mean you slipped up. But to me, he was putting on a front like he was lying to the PO. So he kept touching the drugs with his bare hands in front of me so that I would think that it
Oh,
was in his system because he was touching it with it. Because I'm like, nigga, you always put gloves on. Why you ain't got no gloves on right now?
right. Why would you even
But
touch that?
that's why he was doing it because he knew that I was going to find out he failed the drug test. And he wanted me to believe that it was because it got up under his nails. You get what I'm saying?
That is a lot, yo.
Yeah, it was.
So, um, I mean, I can't say you healed because you still healing. I would think, right?
Yeah,
You
it
feel?
definitely don't got me in a chokehold no more.
Okay, that's
Like
good to
I think
hear.
it was confusing and traumatizing because it's like, damn, not only do I have to heal from the abuse, then I had to heal from him dying and still having a child with him.
Right. That's why I say it compound. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Um. Wow. So at that point, were you doing photography yet, or what was you doing? Like besides, you say you was doing hair and shit. What
Yeah,
you wasn't
that
doing
was
no.
my full time thing. Ironically, when he passed away, I had about 200-300 pictures and videos of him, and his mom was like, "Oh, I'm glad you took so many pictures and videos of him." So naturally, with the photography, it was always a passion. But because I started doing hair at such a young age, I was like 13, taking clients.
Mm,
Clientele was booming, like so I kind of forgot about the fact that I wanted to be a photographer. And then as I'm outside doing my little sunset and sunrise videos, and I'm always taking pictures of other people, I'm a professional at giving people nice ass off guards.
mm.
Um, but I just had like this flashback again. I'm like, damn, I did want to be a photographer when I was a kid, and I stopped doing hair for a living in like December of last year. Like I still do hair. I just don't want to do it full time anymore because it was exhausting. It was draining. I'm like, it takes too much time away from the kids. Bitches
That
be
shit
having
like the trap.
attitude. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
bitches be
I'm the
having
son.
attitude
I'm the
with me. I
son
don't
of a
got time.
cosmetologist. That's the trap. I told you I was in the fucking salon from the minute it's open till it's closed. Some
Yeah,
days. Bored as
yeah.
shit.
So,
Cause I'm a little
the
boy and I can't be. I don't know what these women in talking about, but yeah, for sure.
right. And like the money was great, but it just got to a
Hmm.
point where I was like, it's not even worth the money anymore.
Right.
And then because I was going through the abuse, like that job fucked my business up a little bit. Like I lost a lot of clients because I'm at home getting my ass beat when I'm supposed to be at work. So I got clients sitting there waiting on me for hours.
Right.
And the only thing I could say when I get back to them is like, oh, I apologize. Something came up. Do you want to reschedule? Some of them will reschedule, but after a while, people get tired of that. But they didn't know what I was really going through. So it kind of like the whole trauma, the abuse, it job killed my passion for doing hair because business was great at one point, and then going through what I was going through, it fucked it all up.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, I decided back in like March, I was like, I want to invest my time and energy into this photography thing, and that's been going good. I
I
went
mean,
out.
where you get like what you like about it? Where you get that? What is? Because like for me, like with the, I guess at this point it's just entertainment. But it started with music and shit, and now I just like creating. I don't know. I just enjoy creating shit that is. If I enjoy it and I'm creating it, I'll keep doing it. Why? Like, what is the whole photography? What enticed you about the photography, or what did you? You know what I mean? What drew you
Um,
to it?
Honestly, as a kid, I'm not sure what it was when I was a kid. Um, but now it's just something about really being able to show people what I see, like giving people my perspective. Cause I mean, everybody's photography is different, of course, but like me, I personally like to do a lot of natural light. I'm obsessed with the sun. I'm obsessed with sunlight. So I would just be up and like one day I just decided like let me put my phone in time lapse and record the sun coming up. And then I started doing it so much. And like I said, I was always that one taking pictures of people. And
Mm-hmm.
like they not even knowing I'm taking pictures, but then when they see the pictures that I done took of them, they like, damn, like this is a sweet ass off guard picture. And it was something about
Right.
me capturing genuine real moments and making it look good
Right.
without even having to make it look good. It just naturally looks good. Like I'm catching people. Like remember when I was doing your photo shoot and I was like, I need to make you laugh again. And I caught that
Right.
picture of you laughing. I love stuff like that.
Right,
Because I'm
right,
like,
right,
it's not just somebody posing for a picture. It's a genuine, like you look back at those type pictures, you like, damn, I might not even remember what I was laughing at, but I know I was really laughing in this picture.
right. Type shit.
Yeah. So like I just love being able to capture that for people. Like when I went out Saturday night, I normally I would ask people, can I take their picture? But Saturday night I switched it up and I was just taking pictures of people, and I caught like it was one of this girl on my story, and she was dancing. And like the pictures, like she fell in love with the picture. She was like, "Oh my God, is that me?" Like she didn't even know I was taking
He's
her
like,
picture.
send
And I
that.
caught her, yeah, like I caught her in her natural essence. And like I love being able to catch people just genuinely being they self. Like it's just something about that I love.
So are you going to get into like videography, or are you just going to keep it strictly like photos?
No, I want to get into videography because I think I'm good at that too. And like people be like, "Oh, I want you to do music videos for me," but I feel like they be bullshitting a little bit
You
because
gonna
they be
make
like,
$1
"Let me
million.
know when you free."
Look, you know you gonna. They go. Boy, why do you say they be bullshit? They want you around.
Yeah.
No, but if you get nice at that shit, you better tax them motherfucking niggas. Nigga, my
Oh
motherfucking
yeah,
time is money, nigga.
that is the
Nigga,
goal.
you know what I
And
mean?
it's starting to. I feel like it's starting to take off more. Because like a lot of the people that I took pictures of over the weekend, because I was just snapping them in they natural. It's like this one girl, she's a DJ, and
Okay.
she done invited me to Atlanta with her. She
Come
like,
on
"Oh,
now.
you wanna slide to Atlanta on Sunday?" I'm like, "Shit, I'm gonna do my best to do that because that sound cool." She like, "Yeah, I want a photographer." So for right now, I don't mind doing some of the work for free. I don't like when people request me and expect it to be free, because I just had to tell this guy that the other day. It went from, oh, matter of fact, remember I told you I was supposed to do the photo shoot? I ended
Right.
up not even doing it because the guy was like, I was like, "What time are you performing?" He asked me, did I want to come do shoots of his performance. I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "What time are you performing?" He was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm performing." And I'm like, "Okay." So he was like, "Yeah, I really just want you to get footage of the function." And I'm like, "All right, I was down to come do your performance real quick, but if you want me to do the entire function, you got to pay me."
Yeah, that's work. That's
Yeah,
actually
so
work.
he responds and he was like, "Yeah, well, how much you charging?" And I already got two other photographers lined up. I don't want to have too much photography going on. So I'm looking at it like, "Well, why the fuck did you ask me in the first place?"
You
So
surprised them when you told them you need a fee. Hey man, I need a fee for you to see, man.
yeah.
Hey,
So, he was like, "I'm gonna let you know well before the event or whatever." But he texted me like 30 minutes before he wanted me there. And he was like, "I just got off work." And I just was like, "Oh, okay." And I went on about my night, and I went and snapped those people up. And now all those people hitting me back up like, "Oh, I want you to do a photo shoot. I want you to come do this. I want you to come do that." So I went where my intuition led me instead of me being pressed to do this function. Like, because he
with
was like, "I don't mind paying." But then it was just given, I ain't too serious about it. So I was like, whatever. I'm going to keep it pushing.
it sounded like he was bitter a little bit. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. And I
Yeah.
told him, I said, "Yeah, I could use the exposure, but I said I could do that on my own."
Yeah, I'm
Like,
about to say common sense. If I was to call somebody and be like, "Hey, I want you to come stay here for 3 hours," like I'm just knowing I'm gonna have to compensate. Like if I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
right.
like a
But to
kind of a
expect
common
me to
sense
just do it
thing.
for free, like you didn't ask me to come do it, is insane. And I told him, I said, I can go find people that I want to work with. Like one of the girls that I ended up taking pictures of Saturday night, I didn't know this. Like she was just outside and I was like, "Let me take y'all pictures." That girl
Right.
got over 20,000 followers.
Hmm.
So, it's like I'm out here
You never
doing.
know who you know what I mean? You never know. That's one
And
thing I
she
learned.
loved
You
them
never
pictures
know.
too. Like she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna shout you out when I post them." And I'm like, "Shit, that's a bet." So I would much rather go. And I pretty much told him like, "Look, I can give myself exposure. I can choose who I want to work with for free right now. Like I
Because you
don't."
got the camera. You actually have what kind of
Yeah.
camera do you
Like,
have
but
too?
to
What is
just
that?
ask me, "Can you have 3 hours of my time?" and think that you're not finna pay me like I'm mediocre. Like I may be new to it, but I'm not mediocre.
What kind of camera is that you got?
I got a Canon Rebel T7. I think
See,
I'm gonna upgrade soon, but I'm enjoying the journey.
I'm just saying that just to let people know. It's not just for anyone. This thing, like the camera costs money. You know what I'm saying? Let's not even talk about gas. Let's not talk about you gotta
Yeah,
get something to eat. You might gotta get your kids a baby. I'm just
you
saying,
feel
like, just think
me?
when y'all do business with people, think like just think logically, like put yourself in their shoes type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you ain't what, just shoot or say something,
Yeah.
communicate. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
And it wasn't like no shade to him, but I'm
yeah, it's
like,
not shade.
you don't even have the viewers for me to like you. If he would have had like some good numbers, I would have been
Right.
like, shit, yeah,
Like
I'll
it'll
slide.
pan out. It'll pan out
Yeah,
to
but it
you.
was like this ain't really benefiting me. The only benefit I would have got from it would have been the people that seen me there, and
Right.
that wasn't enough for me
Right.
because
You're a
I went
businesswoman.
elsewhere and did about I gave like 10 other people mini photo shoots, and now those 10 other people sharing my work. Those 10 other people want more photo shoots done.
Type shit.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Yo, I sat right next to my homie. Well, he used to be the homie, but when he had the did he have a Canon or a Nikon? I can't remember. He had one of them Jones, but and I just seen this nigga just put his ad on Craigslist and he just making money off the shit. Like you got girls in them. Everybody want
forgot
photo shoots.
about
Or everybody want,
Craigslist.
huh?
I forgot about Craigslist. I might gotta try that one
I
out too.
mean, no, and keep this in mind. So I don't know how this was like 2018 and 2019. This is in
And
LA.
Craigslist, I think that Jane still be popping a little bit.
I'm
I don't
pretty
know, but then
sure, but
again,
he
we do
was.
got social media, so
Yeah, we got that. He was charging like he wasn't even busting no heads like 25, 30, 50, depending on however, whatever. I don't know his whole get down, but I was
yeah,
seeing, and that was little pocket money because he was having other money too. He just had a passion for it though. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And that was just like a little. Some Jones he'll do for free if he really fucking with him, or if it's something he requests, or if he fucking with
yeah.
the energy or
Type shit
something.
I be
So
on.
that's like you're sitting on bread. Like people got to understand that. Like that fucking cameras is expensive. Like
They,
time is expensive. You feel me? Time is priceless, actually.
my
But
my
so
perspective is expensive,
right, your mind, you
and
paying
I
for
ain't
a
even
beautiful
charging
mind.
that much yet.
Right, no cap. So what's next for you? Like, so what you trying to get into next? Oh, you doing the photos? You doing the videos? Where do you want to take it? Like, are you trying to start your own company? Are you want to get your brand popping? Like, what you doing?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get the brand popping. Even though I wasn't a big fan of wanting to do studio work, I have to. Like I
Right.
need that studio to be able to branch out. And then like right now, my plan and my goal is to get a studio. I actually found one that I really fuck with. I think I showed it to you. I can't remember. But it just as
I
long
think
as
you
it has
did.
as long as it got a lot of natural light in it,
Yeah, you showed me
that
that.
because
Yeah.
I love that sunlight. So
Right.
as long as I can give me a studio, which I know I can, I'm gonna give me a studio that got a lot of natural light in it, but use the building for other things to throw events in it, let other people rent it out for whatever they may want to do, and let it pay for itself pretty much.
I can
And then
see you now.
just
I can
doing
see you
hair a
going
little
up.
bit.
I want to see you over there in Paris with filming for real. I can see you on some shit. You got the look too. You know about the culture. You got your own visions. You ain't
Right.
like a carbon copy. So I can see you just stay consistent on that shit and keep investing and keep just working too. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But as much as you can, try to compensate because you know how it is being an entrepreneur, especially in these type of industries. This shit is it's like the trap, nigga. You better get the money you can get it right now, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
And
better do something right with it too, because you don't know what if it get. Look at like my mom is in the film industry and shit, and they've been on strike for some shit. She never foreseen it. She's great, but
oh
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure she knew this was gonna happen 2 years. She probably would have put a little bit more. You know what I mean? Type
Mm-hmm.
shit, but you never. So it's like people don't realize that with this entertainment, this photography, anything art wise, being an artist, this is it's so unconventional. Before y'all sign up for this shit, know that this shit is not easy. It is, and
Right.
as you grow older, and don't have kids and don't have nigga, people gonna be mad at you because you ain't got enough time for them because you trying to goddamn put plays together. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, and
So just
doing
stay on
doing
that
hair
grind.
for years, I feel like it kind of prepared me. Like I know how to market myself. I know how to go out there and get the clients and the customers. So I do, I at least got that benefit too. Like, all right, I did this building my own brand and building my own thing for 16 years doing hair. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that just prepared me to go into what I'm doing now. I know it's gonna work out because I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, it's the pictures are getting better. The like everything is just constant upgrades. Like the networking circle is getting bigger and better. Like I'm here for
Right.
it. ready for it.
It's the small confirmations too. It don't got to be a big confirmation. As long as you got a small
Literally,
confirmation, you know what I'm
literally.
saying?
Like
Brick by brick.
something as simple as people like, oh my God, like I love these random ass pictures you took of me. Like shit, that make me
Mm-hmm.
feel good. That boosts my confidence with the camera. The
Right.
fact that I know I can just go out and not have to necessarily ask people for their permission to just take their picture, especially when they drunk.
Oh,
Drunk
they gonna
people
show out.
love getting their pictures taken. They love it. So like I just was snapping pictures of all these females and I'm going up to them like, girl, look at you. You cute as fuck. Like, and they like,
Right.
oh my God, I love these pictures. Like, and you know, because I was already used to putting myself out there with the hair, like I don't mind talking to strangers.
Yeah, you
Like,
network. You're a people person. You know how to get to it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the key. That's actually one. That's the key. Y'all better network. Your network determines your net worth. You better pay
Yeah.
attention. What
You know,
what
people be so scared these days because everybody use that clout chasing word. Like, nah, bitch, I'm trying to network. Like,
Nah,
I'm trying to work with
fuck
you.
that,
Like,
nigga. Fuck. Hey,
we can help
listen.
each other out.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's networking. That's what it.
Hmm.
Cloud chasing is something completely different, but
Right.
networking is just networking is like I don't force myself on nothing ever in
Right.
life. Period. Nothing. I don't force nothing. I
Mhm.
used to kind of put a little force behind shit, but when you force shit, man, it just it's no need to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no
Yeah.
need to force anything. It never goes right. It just the shit be like, oh, and you be like, I shouldn't. I just went with my. I don't like to do that, so I just go with the
Yeah.
flow. Off the rip, I go with the
Cause
flow.
and remember we went through that the day I did your photo shoot. Like you was waiting
Mhm.
on me, I'm waiting on you.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
whole
dropped the
time we waiting
bottle.
on each other. But then when we get to the spot that we find, the lighting was perfect. Like I fell in
Yeah,
love with the lighting, and I'm like, damn, because we were supposed to do it at a different spot. I'm like, all right, it's too much shade right there, right now.
right.
That shit worked out, you know how it was meant to work out.
No
It was a
cap.
vibe. It was fun.
No cap. Where can they find you at? Like, where if somebody want to get some work, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Where can they hit you for to tap in with your contact you and shit?
Y'all can find me on here, HERE, here in Nirvana Visuals on Instagram. That's all I got right now. I mean, I'm on TikTok, but I don't really use it like that. But here in Nirvana, Nirvana, complete state of happiness is tatted on my throat right here. Complete state of happiness, like here in
Yeah.
Nirvana Visuals on Instagram.
Okay,
Y'all can find me
bet.
there.
Any last words? Any shout outs to anybody? Anything you want to say?
Shout out to everybody that fuck with me because I fuck with them. Like, shout out to the people that supported me, whether they still around or not. You know, shout out to you
Shout
because
out to
you
you,
know
man.
for doing this. Like, and shout out to I think is it Benny? It's Benny, right?
Benny, yeah, Benny,
Shout
yeah,
out to
Benny, he in
Benny.
here.
Shout
I
out to
think Benny in
Benny
here.
for you know, because he was the one that was like, oh, you know, you should work with bro. He cool, and I was like, you know,
Right.
I was nervous to hit him up, but I was like, shit. Now that you telling me, and I was already thinking about it, I'm like, shit. Let me go in here and hit him up. So shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to
Shout out
Benny,
to my
man. Yep.
kids.
Yeah, shout out to the kids. Another important thing, really. And you know what? I didn't even mean to buy this shirt. Like, I mean, I meant to buy it, but it's purple. Ain't that the color for the domestic violence? I just want to
It
let y'all know I'm
is.
not chasing it. I promise you. I
It
actually,
is.
but that maybe it was
See,
meant to be. Maybe
that's
I
that
didn't even
divine
think. I swear to
intervention.
God, I don't even think like that. Like, let me match the. Like, I'm not. That's not just my. So that is. Any speaking of that, any last words of I guess encouragement or advice for anyone who's going through that or trying to get through domestic violence, male or female, or people that's affected by it? What do you have any? Like, we need something on that because you know what I mean. You've been through some shit with that.
Yeah. The best advice that I could give people that's going through it, like that shit is scary when you trying to leave somebody that got you in a chokehold mentally, physically, and emotionally. It can be scary, but you gotta dig deep and find that strength to put yourself first, and that's what it's always about. Like you really gotta put yourself first. You gotta care more about yourself than that person, and like sometimes it can be repercussions and consequences. Like you never know how that person may react, but at the same time, I feel like I believe so much in God that when God sees you trying to protect yourself and love yourself and get yourself out of it, like it's gonna always work out. Because it took a lot. I had to dig deep to be like, all right, enough is enough.
Man,
Everybody
well,
hollering about, oh, we ain't no snitching, but no, bitch, you trying to kill me, I'm snitching.
I listen. If you're a female, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at
Yeah,
all. That's why I said is if like especially if like a feet like yeah, that's you have. What else you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What can you do? You know what I mean?
right.
Besides do some super. But I appreciate you. Jasmine, shit, it's been a pleasure, man. I feel like this is very important. I was saying earlier, it's funny because last year on Columbus Day, I didn't know. I never know when Columbus Day is coming. I'm tripping because I didn't know it still was a thing. I thought it was when we, but that's a whole nother fucking podcast. But so last year I did like we talked about like how flaw all that shit was, right?
Yeah.
We did it politically, and we ain't go crazy because I already learned about getting strikes on YouTube and shit. So, but it's still on the channel. But I just felt like, yeah, every Columbus Day we doing some real shit, nigga. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say that, but yeah, we gonna do some real shit. Every, you feel me? Some shit that means something, not Columbus Day.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Facts.
You feel me? All right, stay on here. I'm gonna peace everybody. We gone. Stay right here. You stay on here. We're gonna still be on here behind the scenes. Thank you to everybody that pulled up too. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button. If you want to replay,
y'all.
Yeah, hit the like button. If you want to replay, go follow. You got the YouTube, don't it?
Me, yeah.
Is the same thing here in Nirvana?
I don't know.
Is it jazz? It's a green.
It might just be jazz. I don't know. I probably just change it to here in Nirvana though. To be honest,
you need to do that. Go follow her at Here in Nirvana on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure she got some videos she can throw up there. Her doing some cool shit and meet some cool people.
Yeah, for sure. I got a lot of behind the scenes.
Yeah, that type action. Yeah, and we out this bitch. Appreciate y'all.
Peace out.